Hello. A child is a dream for some, but the cost of childcare is proving to be a nightmare for many. Costs continue to rise and parents are feeling ever more stretched. The UK has some of the most expensive childcare in the world, and after the Chancellor announced an expansion to free childcare in England, the question is, will Wales follow? So how do we solve our childcare crisis? Alex has been to find out.
The housewife, engaged every day in the never-ending task of running her home, feeding her family.
In the 1950s, it was stereotypically a woman's job to cook, clean and care for the children. And whilst gender roles like this are old-fashioned, many feel the system that supports all parents getting back into the workplace needs some modernising too, especially when it comes to the cost of childcare. And for parents who use this nursery in the Vale of Glamorgan, it's hitting both their finances and future family plans.
We spend about the same as we spend on our mortgage on our childcare each month, so it's substantial. We've both got well-paid jobs, we're both in employment, so we're lucky, so we can just make it, but it's not really sustainable going forward.
I do get some help from his grandparents, which I wouldn't be able to go to work if I didn't. You know, I'm very thankful for that, but the childcare costs here, if you had to go full-time, then there would no point in going to work. So, yeah, there's a discussion we have in the office a lot, because everyone's like, oh, would you want another child? I'm like, couldn't do it, financially couldn't do it, couldn't do the childcare costs.
For some of our friends, you know, it doesn't really pay to actually go to work if your child has to go in full-time. So, for us, I mean, we can make it work, but yeah, it's a lot.
I know there's better support in Scandinavia, just from speaking to distributors from my work. You know, they've got a lot more help out there, especially like Finland, Denmark, Norway.
In the UK, our childcare system is one of the most expensive in the world. At the moment, if you send a child of 2 or under to a nursery place, it will cost an average of nearly £15,000 a year. These are eye-watering costs, and they're having a huge impact on parents, especially women, returning to the workforce.
So we know that women are far more likely to be shouldering the burden of childcare responsibilities. It is the most frequently cited reason why women leave the labour market, and also why they stay out of the labour market for long periods of time. So improving childcare provision and enabling women to move back into the labour market, you know, it supports everybody. It enables women to thrive and to prosper. It supports businesses and also supports the wider economy.
So what support is on offer? Well, currently in Wales, eligible parents can claim up to 30 hours a week of free childcare for children aged 3 and 4 years old. The Flying Start scheme, which provides support to some children aged 2, is also now being extended to more families in Wales. But the Welsh Government have not yet committed to matching the UK Government's recent pledge to provide 30 hours a week of free childcare to all working parents of children aged 9 months to 4 years by 2025.
He has terrible tusks and terrible claws and terrible teeth.
This extra support would be very welcomed by parents like Eliza from Cowbridge. When she discovered her second pregnancy was twins, she feared she wouldn't financially be able to afford childcare to go back to work.
Here you go, eat your cookies. When we first found out that we were having the twins, I was in pure panic. We had to get a new car. I was worried about what I was going to do about going back to work. It was about a week of tears and just trying to work out finances and see exactly what we were going to do.
But as a deputy manager at a nursery, a staff discount meant she could continue to do a job she loves.
If I wasn't getting discount, which I am at work because I work in a nursery, it would be about £2,800 a month for all 3 of them, about 32 grand a year.
£32,000 a year for 3 children full time?
Yeah. That's only 4 days as well, that's not 5 days, like most people work 5 days. So it would be a lot more.
What kind of crocodile? Green, not done.
And whilst nurseries like this endeavour to support their staff, they can't cut costs for everyone. Nursery owner Amy tries to keep fees as low as possible, but with rising food and energy bills and increased staffing costs, she says the industry needs more government support to survive too.
The hourly rate for the childcare offer, which is 3 to 4 year olds, is £5 per hour. And the ratio of a 3 to 4 year old is 1 adult to 8 children. They are rolling out the 2 year old funding, and that's the hourly rate of £5.60 per hour. The ratio is 1 adult to 4 children, so it's not proportionate. It wouldn't cover the staffing costs. And we're struggling enough as it is. I think our food bill has gone up by 15%. Salaries are going up by 18%. So that needs to be reflected in that hourly rate.
How much pressure is on you to keep costs low for parents, but also balance that against rising costs as a business?
It's enormous. It's so important to a lot of families to be able to access childcare. But our fees increased by 8% this year. When you can see that the salaries have gone up and the food and energy bills have gone up, we haven't increased to match that. So it is a struggle. It's a real struggle to make those books balance at the end of each month.
The Welsh Government say they are committed to delivering childcare to more families who need it. But until there's more support, the crippling costs could continue to drive more parents out of the workforce.